and it is He who sends the winds to disperse before His mercy.
So is that the same as tomato and tomato?
Look.
Is that the same as tomato and tomato?
No, it's not the same.
Thank you very much. I don't believe that.
Denying there's different qira'at of the Quran. No one is denying that. It's been everyone knows this. It's only, let's say, Dr. Zakir Naik is saying it to his crowd.
The New Testament is full of fabrication.
Don't go to the New Testament.
The whole book
Okay,
is
let me explain the New Testament.
The New Testament is full of
When
fabrication.
God gave the New Testament, He gave it in different aruf and different qiraat. That's why we have different versions. Are you going to accept that?
The Saudi Quran is the right Quran, and it's the Quran that we read every day.
And what about the other one?
I'm going to call my dad is on the phone, yeah?
Okay.
Show me the verse.
All right. You ran away. What happened?
Basically,
You had the runs.
basically what happened last week, yeah, to all the viewers on So-Called Film. Hello to all the Christians out there. Love to all the Christians. You know, I've got love for you, yeah. It's your boy Modine Dano. Big up Paperboy. Big up the real ones out there, yeah.
Okay, it's medication time now.
Hey, chill yourself. Basically, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Paperboy, basically, last week, Samba was a fight, so I had to go. But I wanted to come back to speak to Paperboy, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, before I'm going to answer these questions, but I do want
So,
to. Yeah, go on,
did Uthman change the Quran?
No,
You believe?
Let me explain to what happened.
Burning stuff changes it quite a bit.
No, let me explain what happened. Basically, when the Quran, the Prophet Muhammad, some of the scholars say, some of the scholars according to the Prophet, some of the scholars say, in the time of the Prophet it was compiled. Some of the scholars say no, they differ. They say after the Prophet died, Imam Ali, alayhi salam, the cousin of the Prophet, Imam Ali, and the 12 Imams, so Imam Ali compiled the Quran, and the 12 Imams, they kept it safe. What happened was, the Muslims...
But then how come there's confusion?
Let me explain. So what happened was, Imam Ali, he compiled it in order. Anyway, the Quran we have today, we accept it.
But is it the original Quran?
Imam Sadiq said, اقرأوه, Imam Sadiq says in Al-Kafi, اقرأوه كما هو.
Yeah, but is that the original one?
Yes.
Because you said Ali's name wasn't it? And then you said it was taken out.
Because when Ali's name, because هذا صراط علي مستقيم. هذا Imam Sadiq said, because the dots, when did the dots happen? In the time of Uthman.
Yes.
There was no Fatha, Kasra,
Or
Dhamma.
after Uthman.
Yeah. So after Uthman, then they brought the Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, so the people can read
Okay.
properly. What I'm trying to say is that the Quran we have today, I believe is 100, and the scholars.
But was Ali's name in the original one?
Yeah, the name is there.
Is it still in today's one?
It's still there. If you bring me the Quran, هذا صراط علي مستقيم. But because we don't read it as Ali mustaqim, هذا صراط علي مستقيم. Because the Imam Sadiq says, even just read it how it is. We don't want to read it how it is. But what I'm trying to say, so the Quran we have today, the Saudi one, is 100% from Allah, and it's 100% correct.
But what about where it says, where Umar said we have missing parts of the Quran?
Yeah. So basically, like I said, according to Bukhari, Aisha narrates this, but we do not take this hadith. We say this hadith is wrong. So they believe that the Quran is missing, but we don't believe it's missing. Do you understand? But what I'm trying to say, brother Soko, is that in the time of there was, if you read about.
So where did the differences come in the readings?
I wanted to say to you one more time.
Yes.
Listen to Dr. Ammar Naqshawani. This is.
But where did the differences come from?
If you listen to
were Muslims corrupting the Quran?
Okay, no. Let me explain to you what happened.
All right.
When the verses came down, they always brought two witnesses.
Okay.
To say, are these verses correct? Did you hear this in the time
And this
of the
is from
Prophet?
Sunni hadith.
No. This is what I'm telling you from the hadiths. What I've read is that when they say the Quran, they brought two witnesses, just witnesses, to say that yes, they've heard this in the time of the Prophet, because they've got to send people to areas to recite.
But that doesn't make sense, because if the Quran is a linguistic miracle, you wouldn't need two witnesses, because you would know the eloquence of what they're saying can be from another. Of course, because the Quran says, can they make a surah like this? That means the eloquence is so high, a human cannot copy the words of Allah. Right? No, even copy the Quran and make a fake version. They can't make a fake version because their eloquence will not be the same. So you say people can corrupt the Quran. But I've given you okay. Go on. Continue. So they needed two witnesses. Because the problem is, when you go to the hadith, there's a hadith where it says that Umar knew the verse about stoning. But because he was the only witness, they did not include it in the Quran.
Let me explain.
So this is a verse that was omitted.
Let me say to you. Yusuf, just come please, because this is my brother Yusuf. He became Muslim. Come here, please, Yusuf. Yusuf, I want you to come here. Do you know why? Because you're the true face of Islam, not these.
Because
people.
he wants you to explain the Qur'an and Aruf. Because he's going around in circles. You see another reluctant person.
Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad. Yusuf, Bismillah.
All right.
So we got our brother Yusuf. He's from Italy and Russia. He's from a Christian to Islam. But listen, I believe in what you believe in. I believe in what I believe in.
I don't believe in Qur'an and
No, one
Aruf.
second. I believe what came down to you. I believe what came down to me. Your God and my God are one. Do you know? Listen.
Stick to the Quran, explaining the.
I just want to say something.
Don't divert.
You know, in Bukhari, you will never read stories about Jesus. But where will you find stories about Jesus? Read Al-Kafi. Read Bahar al-Anwar. These books from Ahl al-Bayt have hundreds and thousands of hadiths on Jesus. I just wanted to say this because Jesus, if you go to the Mufti Sunni books, the hadiths, they don't have hadiths on Jesus. They don't narrate from Jesus. We have from the Imams, from the Prophet Muhammad, thousands of hadiths from Jesus. You know Jesus has hadiths. All right, I'm going to say on top of it. Jesus has hadiths, but I just wanted to say.
Okay.
Listen, do you know? I just want to say the Christians out there, because they're lovely people. The Christians out there, the most humble people. Allah says in the Quran.
So tell us about the.
Don't forget what Allah says.
Tell us about the compilation.
Okay.
Tell us.
Okay. I'm going to tell you about the compilation.
All right.
But one thing I wanted to tell you before anything is that we take the hadiths. We take it from Al-Kafi. So if you wanna read when you're coming, if you're taking hadiths from Bukhari, I'm not taking it.
Do you accept the
from Al-Kafi?
Do you accept the Al-Kafi where he talks about the chain of narrators being
Al-Kafi,
donkeys? Do you accept that hadith?
What does
Do you accept that hadith?
What does Al-Kulaini say? Al-Kafi kafi li shi'atina. It's enough.
Do you accept that hadith?
Huh?
Where Yafor is a narrator of a hadith, and the chain of narrators is donkey, 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 going back to the time of Noah.
Yeah. Oh,
do yeah. Do you accept that hadith?
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that.
You see?
Wait. I'm gonna be honest. When I say, listen. No. In front of the camera, if there's something I don't know, I have to say I don't know. I have to go back to it. I'll be honest. I'm not a scholar.
You know that hadith?
No. I have to go back to.
There's a chain of narrators from Yafor all the way back to Noah.
Yeah.
And all the donkeys are the narrators.
All right, let me explain. 1 second. All right. No. I've read the hadith that there was a donkey at the time of the Holy Prophet, and he spoke to the Prophet. He said, "I was in the ship of Noah. He was the descendant of the donkey donkey that was in the time of Noah's ark." You know.
So how do you know if a donkey is trustworthy?
1 second. You know the Noah's ark. They brought the animals to save them. Yeah? No, they have to bring animals so the animals survive, because everywhere got flooded. The Chichimans got flooded. Yeah. So what did Prophet Lot do? Prophet Lot. No, I'm just saying. No, because I'm coming to the donkey story. Prophet Lot said,
yes,
everyone bring 2 animals, like the animals on the ship, so the place gets flooded, so the donkeys can live on. That donkey that was on the ship, he had children. Do you understand? He had children, and the children stayed with.
But how do you know if a donkey is trustworthy?
Listen, I'm not talking about the.
Yeah, but how do you know if they're
I'm not
trustworthy?
talking about that. What you're talking about? I'm talking about another story.
Stick to topic.
Because I said I don't know about that one.
Okay, let's go back to the compilation of the Quran.
I'm talking about.
Let's stick to the compilation of the Quran.
Okay, but I just want to say.
Let's stick to the compilation.
I just wanted to say to the.
Because that's something else.
I just want to say to the Christians.
Let's stick to the compilation of the Quran.
All right, we're going to stick to the compilation. Regarding Ammar al-Nakhshawani, I've told you Christians to go and listen to Ammar al-Nakhshawani. He is one of the top scholars, Muslim scholars out there. No one's ever heard of him. No one's talking about him. Why? No, we've heard of him, but he does. If you will listen to one of his lectures, you'll become Muslim today. What today?
So what does he say about the Qur'an and Aruf?
Okay, what he says, let me explain to you.
Yes.
What say the Dr. Ammar al-Nakhshawani says? He says, linguistic. You know the linguistic. I'm going Yusuf. Do you want to say something about that? Just let Yusuf say something, because he hasn't said that. Yusuf, Bismillah, tawakkal ala Allah. Throw the chewing gum.
You read Arabic? Okay.
No, Yusuf, just speak out the chewing gum.
Yeah. Because the argument that Muslims will use against the Trinity is that it goes against sound reasoning and intellect. If you go to a 5-year-old and ask them about God, they will not come out of the Trinity. So we're using that same criteria to say about the preservation of a Quran. If you go to a 5-year-old and say, describe to me what you would think a perfectly preserved book is, would they come up with Qiraat, Aruf, changes here, changes there? So this is why we're questioning, does this go with sound logic and reasoning? So if you want to tell us about
just before we go into that point, that hadith you mentioned about the donkey narrators.
Yes.
According to your own logical beliefs about God, don't you believe it is possible donkeys could do that according to your logical?
Well, we don't.
That's a Ibn Ashari hadith, but.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a chain of narrators of donkeys.
But is it possible?
Is it possible? No. not a chain of
So
narrators.
God can become human, but donkeys can't talk to another donkey.
If God made it happen, but you said
It's
you
possible.
believe it happened.
I don't believe.
Okay,
no.
then we can stick to.
No, I just
yeah, but no.
Curiosity. I
Yes,
just want to know. Like,
God can make anything happen. But no one here believes that donkeys are a chain of narrators, because how do you even know the donkey is trustworthy? And don't divert, because he asked you a question.
1 second.
No, because you're trying to divert. You see, he's trying to divert.
mentioned
No,
God can do anything.
stick to the topic of the Quran and the
you said
preservation.
God can do anything.
Stick to the topic of
You
the
said
Quran
God can do
preservation.
anything.
You see? Can you tell us about the
Let's
Quran?
talk about
No. Yeah, go on.
Okay. So what do you know about?
Can I just say the
this
donkey thing?
topic?
Can I just say the donkey thing? I got it here. Basically, Imam Ali said the first one of the animals which died was Yafur, who died within the same hour that the Messenger of Allah died. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He broke off his band until he began to run, until he came to the well of Banu Khatam and Kub and threw himself into it and gave his grave. It is narrated that Amir al-Mu'minin,
So the donkey
Ali
killed
said,
itself?
1 second, Imam Ali said,
that what he's saying?
the donkey spoke to the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, may Allah take my soul and the soul of my parents in service for you, for your cause. My father related to me from his father, from his grandfather who lived in Noah in the ark, who lived with Noah in the ark. Once Noah came to him and whipped him on his back and said, from the descendants of this donkey, there will be a donkey on whose back the master and the last of the prophets will ride. And he said, I thank Allah who has made me that donkey. This is the chain of narration, and this is the hadith. It's in Al-Kafi. Go and read it.
So how do you
There's nothing wrong with
how
that.
do you know if the chain is trustworthy?
I'm going to tell you how to train the software. I'm going to tell you how to
Anyway, but yeah.
That's the hadith. You
So
wanted to
so
know.
tell me about the Kirat and Aruf, because it doesn't seem to make sense.
I mean, you kind of have something similar within Christianity. If we look at all the English translations of the New Testament, the meaning of the verses are the same, but the words are different. I mean...
So is that your understanding? The meaning has to be the same?
In the Quran, it's a lot less. Like the differences are way more less compared to, let's say, New Testament translations, where we've got verses with at least 5 different words, but the meaning is still the same. Exactly.
The meaning doesn't change.
I mean, this whole
Okay, so
concept
this is what I
in the
brought
New
people.
Testament already as well.
This is
So-
Surah Al-Araf, and this is what I've been asking all day. So one in the Haf says, and it is he who sends the winds as good tidings. And in the Wash it says, and it is he who sends the winds to disperse. Now this is what Muslims will try and use to say Maliki and Malik, where it's king and owner. They'll say that's the same thing. Here we have 2 totally different meanings. So what you
it's
said
not totally
doesn't make
different meaning.
sense.
It's the same meaning, but the Egyptian Arabic. No. 1 second.
Is a glad tiding the same as to
1 second.
disperse?
You know the Egyptian Arabic and the Saudi Arabic. It's
That's what I'm
it's just the
asking
linguistics. No, the word is the same. The word is the same, but it's just the linguistics. It's the linguistics. The Quran is preserved, alhamdulillah. And no matter how much you try, and that curse David Wood, he put me on his channel. David Wood, you put me on your
So
channel.
you're saying glad tidings is the same as to disperse?
To disperse something, if I've got bottles of
David Wood,
water
you
and
see
I
that video,
disperse
where
it
he's
to the
violating
crowd,
the Quran?
Yes.
is that a negative connotation with disperse?
How is that how does the meaning?
How is as good tidings? One second.
No.
Let's teach you some English.
Wait.
Simple
the
English.
meaning of disperse
Even
is not.
forget- let's
Wait.
forget
No.
Arabic. Let's go to
We're
English.
asking.
Your
Is,
English is
I'm asking. Is the
problematic
meaning
already.
of the word?
Your English is problematic already.
I'm asking. Is the meaning of the words the same? Because when you say Maliki and Malik, you'll say try and argue that's the same.
You see, now I know what you're trying to do. No one said that when the 2 different words are used, that the words are going to have the exact same definition. But the verse in general, the meaning is still the same. To disperse something and to give something in good tidings.
So,
according to
so now that means
English.
you have more than one Quran,
I mean,
because if they
it's
because
one Quran,
the
only
original
one.
narrative was every single Quran was letter for
It's one
letter,
Quran.
word for word,
Angel doesn't
dot for
come
dot.
to Mary and say, I bring you disperse. There's news
Hold
of
on.
a baby.
You see that? No, 1 second.
But disperse is never good.
Kay,
Yeah.
you know there's Egyptian
Disperse-
Arabic, there's Saudi Arabic.
Going back to
It's the same meaning.
But it's one
It's the same
Arabic
word. It's the
Arabic.
same
Yeah,
word.
the Arabic is not the same.
Right, going back
and
to this point,
and I'll give you another example.
1 second. Going back to this point that there's only one Quran, I'm not involved in the movement that was using that as a way to
Okay.
say that we don't.
You don't
no
believe
one's
that?
denying there's different qira'at of the Quran. No
There's
one is
different
denying that.
ways
It's
to
been
read it.
throughout. Everyone knows this. It's only, let's say, Dr. Zakir Naik is saying it to his crowd. I'm not. Let's be honest.
Okay,
Let's deal with
so
the-
I'll bring another problem. For example, here in Surah Ghafir 40:26, Allah is quoting Pharaoh, but we see Pharaoh say 2 different things. So how can you historically quote someone and the person says two different
Read it out
things?
for the camera.
So it says, and Pharaoh said in the house, let me kill Moses and let him call upon his Lord. Indeed, I fear that he will change your religion or that he will cause corruption in the land. In the Wash it says, and Pharaoh said, let me kill Moses and let him call upon his Lord. Indeed, I fear that he will change your religion and that he will cause corruption in the land.
It's the same. When yadhar, and here's when yadhar. Oh, and yadhar.
Right. So now it's either he's going to do one or the other, or he's going to do both. But if you're quoting Pharaoh, a historical statement, if Allah is all-knowing, how can he then misquote what the Pharaoh said? Because Allah knows what he said.
First of all, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
والقرآن.
وإن يظهر, and that's where أن يظهر.
Yeah.
Yes. Where did the Muslims? Let me just say to you. The Muslims, the Quran today, the Saudi Quran is in Saudi. That Quran is the Quran that we follow. You understand?
Yeah.
This is the Quran that we follow. Regarding other people who speak
In Morocco, for example.
He's not from your culture. He's in Morocco. Another accent. I'm gonna say they, because remember, when the wars happened in Islam and the Prophet ﷺ died.
Because Morocco wasn't speak Arabic before.
Again, this is not answering the question. My question is, if Pharaoh said something historically, how can Allah misquote
No, he
him?
never misquoted it.
Because
No,
he cannot say two different statements.
No, 1 second. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will never misquote something. It's 100%. If someone did do something, like someone who's got another Quran version, and he wrote something,
So you're saying someone's changed it?
Hatun, la'natullah alayha, and David Wood, they're putting holes in the Quran.
This is why we have holes.
1 second. They're putting holes in the Quran. Does that mean if she brings
That's
the
got
Quran's
nothing to
holes?
do with what I'm
I'm
talking
trying
to you about.
If someone has printed a Quran, and he has put a word.
Not the word, just
He put a different vocabulary. He put a different. It's the same word. It's exactly the same word. It's 100% the same. There's no different meaning. It's just like, how can you say pronouns? I got a C in English. I should have got an A, but anyway, it should be like pronoun, vocabulary, adjective, and all that. It's just that. It's like, how can it? When you done poetry, Romeo Juliet.
See, he's not explaining it, and this is why
I'm explaining it.
we have holes in the standard narrative.
Romeo and Juliet. Is it the same as reading Harry Potter? It's not. It's different. Romeo and Juliet is it's the same meaning. For example, if Romeo. Oh, what's that guy's name? The Shakespeare. Oh yeah, Shakespeare. Sheikh Zubair, yeah? Anyway, Shakespeare, yeah? If he said something and someone said something, but it's exactly the same meaning, but Shakespeare says it in a different way. Do you understand? But I'm not trying to say he said it like that. But do you see what I'm trying to say? Do you see what I'm trying to get at? Really? No, I want the topic.
Alright, now to get back to the topic.
What I'm trying to say, don't believe, look, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say, look, the Quran is 100% preserved. Imam al-Sadiq said, "Iqra'u kama huwa." Read it how it is.
So which version is on the eternal tablet?
I'm telling you.
Which one is on the eternal
Saudi,
tablet?
the Saudi Quran.
So are you rejecting the Moroccan ones and all the other ones?
It's exactly the same.
I've just shown you the difference.
The Saudi Quran is the right Quran, and it's the Quran that we read every day.
And what about the other ones?
And it's never been changed.
And what about the other ones?
I've told you. The other ones is the Quran is exactly the same, but according to them,
yes.
There's how can you say pronunciation, like comma.
I've just given you an example.
No. According to them, the way they read, the way they've read.
So one reads glad tidings and the other one reads to disperse.
I'm just telling you, the 100% Quran is the one that we have in Saudi Arabia, and it's never been changed, and it's okay, and read it how it is. And
so are you saying the other ones have been changed?
No, it's not being changed. There's no change.
But
it's exactly the same.
You just said the one in Saudi Arabia has never been changed. So are you saying the ones elsewhere have been changed?
Rabbi, let me give you an example. You see this guy, he's got...
Yeah, answer that question.
I'm going to give you an example.
Let it make sense.
I've got a beard here, yeah? You've got a beard, yeah?
I've got a beard as well.
Exactly, you've got a beard. Now, if you say he's got a beard, that means you've got a beard, for example. I've got a beard. But I don't really have a beard.
How does that answer the question about what Pharaoh said?
I'm giving you an example.
I'm asking you, it's been 5 minutes.
If I said to you, cut your beard, for example, yeah? And then I cut my beard, I just got a little bit, and he cuts his beard. He's telling you, cut your beard. You're trying to say, oh, Moses, because Pharaoh, do you know what I'm trying to say? You're trying to play with the thing.
I'm not playing with the thing. This is what your Quran says.
Look, this one, look. أخاف أن يبدل دينكم أو يظهر في الأرض الفساد. This is the right one. One second.
How do you know this is the right one?
Listen to what I'm saying. Pharaoh, when he said, let me kill Moses, what does he say? I'm going to translate it to you. And Pharaoh said, let me kill Moses. Yeah, this is in the Quran. and let him call upon his Lord. Indeed, I fear that he will change your religion and that he will cause corruption in the land. Okay? He will cause corruption. What does it say? In your religion, or that he will cause corruption in the land. It's the same thing. He's saying the same thing.
No, and or is not the same thing.
It's the same thing.
And
it's not a different. It's not.
And or is not the same thing.
Okay, 1 second. So you're gonna 1 second. You're gonna come just for this little thing and or, and you're gonna leave the New Testament is full of fabrication.
Don't go to the New Testament.
The whole book
Okay,
is fake.
let me
You're coming
explain
for
the
one
New
book.
Testament.
The New Testament is full of
When
fabrication.
God gave the New Testament, He gave it in different aruf and different kirat. That's why we have different versions. Are you going to accept that? Exactly,
No.
you see?
No,
But that's the same thing they say about the Quran. Notice the double standard and the hypocrisy.
Hold on.
Because every version is from God. Okay.
Look, come
No.
lady.
Can you read Arabic?
No, you are
Can you read Arabic?
Tell him, speak it.
No, I don't know.
Can you speak Arabic?
No, but
Okay.
you are wrong.
Can you speak Arabic?
No, but you are wrong.
Why am I wrong?
Because the differences in the Bible are actually.
Don't go to the Bible.
no,
Okay.
don't run.
All right. But we're talking about the Quran.
The Quran.
Yeah.
It's just to do with. It's like if you live in like Manchester and you have a word for potato in Manchester.
Like potato and potato.
Like that.
Yeah, all right. Potato
Like
and
that.
potato, tomato and tomato, right?
In all of the Quran.
Americans here, there's some
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's two versions of the
Why are you running away
Quran.
from the New Testament? Don't run away.
Because
Talk
she's
about
now
the-
defined what is the differences: tomato, tomato, potato, potato. So I'm asking you. Here we have Bushra, Nushra, as a good tiding to disperse. Is that meaning
Number
the same?
one, I'm not going to look at the English because the English is. a
Yeah, read
mini
the Arabic.
The Arabic says Bushra,
Yeah.
and this says Nushra.
Is the meaning the same?
I don't know the Arabic. Does anybody speak Arabic here?
So you you see,
Okay.
every time when you see.
Go back to it. Go back to it, please. Go back to it. Please go back to it. Please.
Okay.
I just want to have a look at that.
Listen, I said to him, there's a seven recite, which is...
You were still looking for the dictionary definition. Don't come to me. No,
you go back to that, please.
you spent 10 minutes looking for the definition and then you ran away.
To you, how you were wrong. That's what I'm
Muhammad
saying.
Hijab does a really great one on the Kirat on YouTube.
I've seen it.
Can
It
I
doesn't
read-
make
can I read
sense.
it? Right. And it is he who sends the winds as good tidings before his mercy until. And it is he who sends the winds to disperse before his mercy.
So is that the same as tomato and tomato?
Look,
Is that the same as tomato and tomato?
No, it's not the same as
Thank you
tomato.
very much.
No, but
That's what you
there-
said originally it was.
okay. There's Malik and there's Malik.
That's not what I'm asking.
Okay,
Here,
okay,
you said
okay.
tomato, tomato,
No,
and you
someone
agreed
else
with
said
it.
tomato,
You said potato
tomato.
and potato.
Okay,
Same.
I'm not-
Now
okay.
I've destroyed that because Bushra and Nushra,
Okay, look.
you've agreed is not the same.
Okay, tomato, no. Okay, look, you've got Malik and Malik, and one means owner and one means
But I'm
king.
asking as glad tidings and
so here,
to disperse.
You've got as good tidings before his mercy. You see how they've got the words mercy in there? And then you've got to disperse before his mercy until.
So what if Allah had come to Mary and said, I bring you to disperse, instead of I bring you
Okay,
glad tidings? Would that
but-
make sense? No.
No, what you
Because
should
the meaning
do
it doesn't-
if you want to get Muslims
Yes.
in something, then you should bring the meanings of those two words.
The meaning is right there.
No,
Good tidings and to
no.
disperse, because this is translated by Arabic.
translation.
Yes,
Okay.
by Arabic scholars.
Some Arabic scholars, and not all of them are English speakers. Okay.
They're Arabic scholars who can translate into English.
Okay, but
Don't
but-
throw them under the bus.
Wait. Some Arabic words. I don't speak Arabic, but some Arabic words have
Lola.
multiple meanings.
Okay.
I'm gonna call my dad is on the phone, yeah?
Okay.
Show me the verse.
All right.
واو شوف حقرا لك فتشي.
We're going to
My dad is on the phone. in the chat.
Papa Modine, Papa Dean, who is going to give us.
شنو هاي المشكلة؟ ليش هم هذول المسيحيين يقولون
Let's see our Papa Dean.
القرآن اثنين كتابات اسمعها وحقرا لك Listen, اسمعني. هو الذي now do you want the Pharaoh one? Bring me the Pharaoh one. Or do you want which one do you want?
That's
The Pharaoh?
fair is fine.
شوف وقال فرعون دروني اقتل موسى وليدع ربه اني اخاف ان يبدل دينكم او ان يظهر واكو قراءة الورش يقول وان يظهر في الارض الفساد فقرآن في قراءة الحفص يقول ان يبدل دينكم او ان يظهر في الارض الفساد وفي قراءة الورش يقول اخاف ان يبدل دينكم وان يظهر في الارض الفساد ليش
Does he want to take a 50-50? Ask a friend.
يقول he says the same thing is the different accent It's the different accent.
dialect.
It's
Yeah,
the dialect.
but the meaning is the same.
Oh, no,
Tell
but
Papa
I get
Papa
his
Dean to come
point.
and we will
I
show
get
him
it.
these.
I get his point. I get your point.
But
on
the
this.
problem is,
Okay.
Allah is quoting Pharaoh. So this is a historical
The text is
statement.
the same, but
so
it's
how
just
can
different dialect.
how can there be variations in what someone said historically?
No.
Look,
no
and
variation.
Pharaoh,
No,
look,
no.
listen, and Pharaoh said.
Okay.
That means this was a true statement in history.
Okay.
Not even trying to describe Allah like Allah's a king, Allah's an owner.
All right.
If you are quoting someone, they cannot say
Let me kill
and.
Moses and let him call upon
Can I just say
his
something to all the
Let me
Christians?
kill Moses and let him call. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
there's
I
a
beg you, let me
difference.
say something. This is better than everything you're saying. Listen.
Wait, let the lady.
That's a.
Yeah, but there is or that and that. And means both. Or what does or mean? If I say to you, would
Either
you?
or.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and means
Also,
both.
yeah.
Thank you.
To us in English.
All right.
Yeah. To us in English. Yeah. It's gone.
Okay. So now we clearly see.
Okay, so I fear that he will change your religion or that he will cause corruption in the land. I fear that he will change your religion and that he will cause corruption in the land.
Right.
Okay.
And now
so-
you're quoting someone historically.
Yeah,
so
I
how can he have
understand you.
two different statements?
I understand you. Because the thing that is with the Qiraat, you need to study the Qiraat deeply because of the fact that there are different ways of saying things in different lingo.
So there's different ways of misquoting someone.
Hey, Paperboy, I just want to say something.
Yeah.
to you.
Wait, let her finish. Let her finish.
Look, there's different lingo, different ways that people say it.
Because if that was in the Bible, they will say it's a contradiction straight out. But now we're seeing the gymnastics of trying to explain it. When they first she said potato was the same meaning, and she agreed on it. Tomato. But when I gave Bushra and Mishra, that doesn't go with what she said. Now she's trying to reinterpret it. This is why Yasser Kadid said there are holes in the standard narrative, because it doesn't add up. The first question would be, who would be the 7 people that were given a recitation?
Listen,
No one
I just want
knows.
to say one thing.
Yes.
About Jesus here, to the Christians out there that claim to love Jesus. Listen to Imam Ali in Nahj al-Balagha, how he describes Jesus. Quickly, just 1 minute. I'll be and I'll finish. 1 minute. He
So we'll conclude.
He said
Hurry up.
Jesus
Yeah,
laid
yeah.
his head on a stone, put on dress made of coarse material, took tough food. His main diet was hunger. At night, the moon provided him only light. During the winter, he slept under the sun. At times when it shone or set down. His fruit and vegetable was none other than what the earth grows for animals. He neither had a wife that could instigate him to do.
What is the point?
Nor
This
did
is
he have
taking
a
too
child
long.
that could make him sorrowful with himself. Nor did he have any property which might have taken him away from God.
What is the
Nor
point
had
you're
he
trying to
any
get
kind
to,
of greed for the
Mr.
worldly
Modine?
things. Nor he had any kind of greed for the worldly things that could cause him humiliation. He had no means for moving except his feet. His servants were his hands. Now, Jesus is a very humble. Do you understand? The Prophet Muhammad was humble. They're cousins. Now, the same message Jesus, he's a humble man. The Christians, they're not following Jesus. The Muslims, they're not following Muhammad. You are not following Jesus. Muslims here, they're not following Muhammad. Both of you are being ignorant, and you're claiming to be Christians and you're claiming to be Muslims, and you're both wrong. That's what I want to say. Both of you, you're misguided, because Jesus said, "After me follow Simon." The Christians didn't listen. They didn't follow Simon. The ones that follow Simon, they will go to heaven. But the ones, and the Prophet Muhammad, he said, "After me follow Ali." They didn't listen to him. The ones that followed Ali,
wrap up,
they'll go to heaven.
Modine.
I just wanted to
All
say,
right.
if you were at that time of Jesus, you should have listened to Jesus' advice. I just wanted to say, don't believe the Muslims today, the hadith books is lies, and don't be one like them.
The same hadith books you went into to quote that there was 2 people reciters, 2 witnesses. So now you're picking and choosing the hadith.
A lot of Christians will be in hellfire. A lot of Muslims will be in hellfire, because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the Christians will be split in 72 sects and the Muslims in 73 sects. Only one will go to heaven in each sect.
Which is the one in Islam?
Okay, the Prophet Muhammad,
And that's a hadith.
Let me say, the Prophet Muhammad said, he hit Imam Ali's chest. He said, the ones that follow Ali will be in heaven. But
That's
he
not
said,
in the same hadith.
He said 12 of them. He said 12 of them will claim to follow Ali. 11 will be in hell. Only one of those 12 will be in heaven. But like I said, pattern up, and I've got love for you. But follow the truth. And when Jesus comes back,
Until you explain to me the
When
difference between the Quran.
No, that's not-
because to know the truth, you need to know which Quran it is in the truth.
Rabbi,
At the moment, we have
Rabbi,
hundreds
your
and hundreds
books,
of
your
Quran.
Books, your Bibles, there's hundreds of different Bibles. The New Testament is full.
But there's, so
the
you,
New Testament is a
you
mockery.
have just agreed
The New-
that there are different
No,
Qurans.
no, there's no different
Yes,
Quran.
you
It's
did.
one Quran. It's
No.
one Quran.
What is the harsher Quran?
No,
is
it's
the
a
washer
Quran.
Quran?
No.
It's the washer Quran.
It's just a vocabulary in one word.
With
That's it.
different meanings.
But you've got
With
the New
different
Testament
meaning.
A whole book is false. A
Okay,
whole book.
let's
The
go.
New Testament.
Let's go to that. Wait.
The New Testament is not from Jesus. The New Testament is misguided. It's made by men to misguide
now,
people. Jesus,
let's
when
see-
Jesus comes back, he's
let's
going to
see-
burn the New Testament.
let's
when
see
Jesus comes
what
back,
the
he's going to
compilation
kill the swine.
of the
when
Quran-
Jesus comes back in a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, I believe, he'll even break the cross. He will say, I am the king. And follow Allah, and worship Allah, but we have to follow him on this earth because with Imam al-Mahdi. Do you know
Okay,
who's
now
Imam
look.
al-Mahdi? Do you know who's Imam
Wait,
al-Mahdi?
look.
The mother of Imam al-Mahdi, her father is the king of Rome, and her mother is the descendant of Jesus. So this is Imam Mahdi who will come and rule with Jesus.
this is
Why
this is
you're
look,
just
listen.
sticking-
This is wait. This is from your sources, yeah.
Yeah.
And they say because Uthman
Yeah.
messed around with the Quran, his body was thrown in the garbage for 3 days because of what he did to the Quran.
Yeah.
And then they say, look, because he wasn't buried in the Muslim cemetery, isn't it? He was buried.
with the Jews.
Thank you. So the place was Hush, where they answer the call of nature. It is called the toilet.
Yeah, he's buried
So
next to the toilet.
they say this was the Muslims revolting because he had changed the Quran.
Okay, basically what Uthman did, I'll tell you what he did.
Right.
He said ban every Quran except for the Quran that there's a long story. I have to take
All right. So there was differences, and
there's
that's
no
why they
differences.
killed him.
No, there was no difference. I will have to get back to you on that one.
All right.
But what like I said, the Quran was compiled by Imam Ali, and Imam Ali, he's the one.
Can I get links
This
to all
Quran is
those?
correct.
I want to look
I
them
just want
up
to say,
and
hey,
I want to
Paperboy,
check
do you
them
need
out.
any question?
No, if you give me a second, I'll give you my email, then I can because I'll have to send it to you, then you can verify it.
Yeah, I'd
So
like
if you
to
if
go
you
check
wait,
them
yeah.
and find out about them.
Yes.
And one of the other one is interesting to me, and I want to check it.